Forget all you know about podcasts. We welcome you to an experience uniquely different. Please join us for our coverage of all entertainment on the fringe of society. The candles are lit, the lights are down low. It is now time to welcome our host as he steps up to the pulpit. The sacrifice has been prepared for the midnight black mass.
Ghastly greetings, groovy ghoulies, and how the hell are ya? And welcome to another edition of the Midnight Black Mass podcast, where it's raw, but not the raw that you see over on the USA Network. A whole different kind of fucked up raw, because we let Andrew Alexander on this show, and God knows the one-man gangbang himself should not be allowed in public anywhere near a live microphone, but we do it because we got balls here on the Midnight Black Mass. Andrew, how's it going?
It's going well, man. I don't say anything crazy.
Oh, never. you never say anything crazy or offensive.
No, not me. Tank is the problem child here.
What? He's been known to have to apologize for a comment or two here on the show, but he's earned the right to be crotchety. Ladies and gentlemen, the strong style psycho Tank, whisking through his retirement tour at a rapid pace. Honored to have him as the third co-host. My brother, and as handsome Jimmy would say, brother, how you doing?
What's up, fellas? Let's get this show on the road. Let's talk some shit.
Let's talk some shit. So, I think we're the only one on the road this weekend. I was off and doing a nice, relaxing recovery weekend from my vacation. Because I vacation hard. Like, I don't really take relaxing vacations where I'm just, like, sitting up in a hammock, fucking sipping on some kind of pineapple with liquor in it. No. I like to go abuse myself in theme parks from, like, 8 a.m. till fucking midnight every day. So, I had to take a rest. So I had a relaxing weekend. And we know Andrew, as by his own admission, disappeared from the public eye, so we know he was not involved in any wrestling this weekend, unless there's something I don't know about.
Wrestling, professional wrestling-wise? Do you mean at
Correct.
shows and things such as that?
Yes.
No, there's nothing you don't know about.
Okay. Assumed I was right. Just had to get confirmation. So, Tank, I believe, was the only one on the road this weekend. So, give us the road report. How did it go out there beating down the pavement?
That was pretty cool. I did a show in Canton, Georgia for Georgia Premier Wrestling. I did a cage match with Cousin Cletus, the blow-off to our little 3-match feud we've had, and fun little match, bled a lot. I don't think those people in Canton had seen so much blood before. So it was pretty cool. We had, like I said, a fun match. The Movement, who did a big heel turn earlier in the night, they ran out and beat Cousin Cletus down after he had beaten me, and I made the save to get that babyface pop because, I know how to work this shit, kid. And went and sold some more shirts. I didn't sell too many shirts as a heel, but when I turned back babyface, I sold the shit ton of them. So doing that business,
One would almost
it was a fun show.
One would almost think you turned babyface just to sell said T-shirts.
Yeah, pretty much. That was just one of those things. When they had turned earlier in the night, I was like, well, hell, let's just have him beat Cletus up and give him some more heat. And then when I came out all bloodied up, people wanted more shirts. I was like, hell yeah, let's sell them. But it was a fun little show. I guess they drew about 250, and this goddamn hot ass old elementary school gym. It was like Cornelia back in like 2002 in July. It was just fucking miserable as hell. And I really couldn't tell you the rest of the card because didn't really watch a whole lot of it. But I do know Cyrus and Strychnine teamed up and wrestled the Lynch Mob. Jason Collins wrestled the former Ring of Honor star QT Marshall, who's running a wrestling school in Georgia now. And I did watch it. It was really good. And Roxy was there, and Cousin Shaggy and Ray and Torch. And a new guy who I watched a little bit of his match, kid named Andrew Duckworth. He impressed me. He was good. So Woody and Daryl, they're doing a good thing. You know, they're drawing pretty good houses and putting on really good like family oriented shows. But you can't have a cage match with no blood. That's just stupid as shit. So I bled like a motherfucker. So
was there resistance to that?
No, I just did it. I didn't tell nobody. I just did it. I didn't ask. Hey, sometimes it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission. So, but you know how Woody is. He's the same frame mind as me. I'm sure he knew what the hell I was going to do. And Daryl, he didn't seem to mind. They got over. It was cool. Nobody left pissed off or anything. But there was a few people you could tell were like, "Oh shit, we've never seen this before." But,
what is this?
Yeah,
Beautiful red flowing river.
It was squirting out pretty good, so you know it was nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, check out Georgia Premier Wrestling. They're on Twitter. They're on Facebook. Just search Georgia Premier Wrestling. You can find all of their various stuff. They've got some stuff on Powerbomb TV also, alongside Anarchy Wrestling and Phoenix City Promotions. All things I'm involved in at some level or another. Pretty much a guest star with Georgia Premier at this point, but I actually was talking to Woody just earlier today about possibly coming back down there. So, you know, it's always good to see those guys doing good things. Their production crew is top notch, by the way. I mean, like, you know, Woody has a very solid crew of guys. Many he either trained or kind of retrained or helped, you know, mold them into the workers they are, who are like his loyal core group of guys. And then he kind of supplements that with some more experienced hands that travel around a little more like you, and then supplements that sometimes with some like bigger, you know, WWE, WCW type names. And, you know, it makes for a good package. And you know, he's always like does good business with the communities in particular. Like Woody really knows how to get in there in the communities and, you know, build good relationships with those businesses and those politicians and the important people that you have to be over with really to make wrestling successful.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Woody knows what he's doing. He goes out, he gets the sponsors, and he gets in good with the community, and you know they want him to run there. It's not like, you know, he's begging for a place to go. They want him to run these towns. So what he's doing, he's doing it right. He's doing it the right way.
Mm-hmm. And Daryl, his partner. Oh, go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Is that building the same building they've been running for a while?
That's the first time I'd ever been there. It was like the old Bluffington Elementary School.
I think it's the one I'm thinking of. If it is, that's a nice setup. I mean, I'm sure it gets hot in there, but that's a good building for wrestling. And I
think it's the one where AJ wrestled.
Yeah, that was the one I went to. Yeah, Woody's about. I would probably say Woody's about the best promoter that I've ever worked for. That I've been around, and I've been around some pretty good ones. But I would definitely give him the nod, hands down, of being the best one. And I've said it multiple times. He's done more for wrestling in this area than absolutely anyone, without question. So if you're listening, you get a chance to check out some of those shows, you should definitely do that. It's always a quality show. I don't think you're going to leave regretting the price of the ticket.
And he doesn't do like long, drawn out, like, feuds and storylines necessarily, but like you get like a good 3-match series, like you did with Tank and Cousin Cletus, but it's always like a good night of entertainment. That's important, just for anybody to come in off the street and be able to enjoy a night of wrestling.
Oh yeah, he's got some good guys. Torque. He was their champion. He lost the title to that Duckworth kid the other night. He's in the SCI. I mean, he earned a spot by getting his ass beat by Anthony Henry and hanging with Anthony Henry. That's why he got that spot in the Scenic City Invitational. And he's up and coming guy. And the Movement, they're a good tag team. Cyrus the Destroyer. I mean, he's making his rounds. Ray, he's still He's still newer, still a little green, but hell, he's got balls of steel. He'll jump off any damn thing. So Woody treats them well, and like I had a little meeting with some of the guys before the show. I told them, I go, whatever Woody says is fucking gold, and you treat it that way. And they all agreed with me.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, we are always treated so well every time we go up there, and I've watched a lot of those guys grow from very limited performers. Cyrus at one time couldn't slap his ass with both hands. Torque at one time couldn't slap his ass with both hands. But over the years, they worked hard, they improved. They got around people who were better and guided them, in the directions they needed to go. And Woody was the most instrumental of those people, I think. Cyrus, there was a time, when he, early in Empire, he was showing a lot of promise, but his head just wasn't on straight. And, Woody was, I think, the first guy to really, get a hold of him and let him realize the potential that he had. And now he's getting out there everywhere. And, just like I said, there's a huge things for him coming up in Anarchy. Be there May 27th to find out more about that. And then Torque, I mean, he just, not to mention the SCI, he just competed in the Anarchy Landmark Heritage Tournament and had a hell of a match available now on Powerbomb TV as of earlier today against Kyle Matthews, the Nightmare, in the tournament. And Nightmare came away with the victory, but Torque certainly left with those people knowing who he was. He talked a lot of shit. He ran that mouth. The country is fucking all get out. It was like I don't know if you saw his promo that was circulating online for that match, where he was like, "Kyle, I don't know why you wear the damn mask. Everybody knows who the hell you are." Like he'd stumbled upon the fucking brass monkey,
That's awesome.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah, one time, this is a little, just to play around, I wanted to do a little tag team with Torque. Tank and Torque, the new TNT. And Woody wouldn't go for it because, the whole gimmick of the tag team was going to be, I was the big hard ass, but Torque was crazier than me, and I was going to have to hold him off beating people up. But Woody didn't find too much humor in it. I think we'd have made money with it, but, what do I know?
Yeah, you'd give him a big rub.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny. I went up to him in the back, and I was like, I hope you're not too married to your music, because wrestling here, you're coming out to Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue. It's got the whole intro. It's like his little fucking hand gesture. Bing, bing, bing. And he was totally cool with it because he's a fucking trooper.
Awesome.
So yeah, well, I enjoyed not having a any wrestling responsibilities this weekend other than getting caught up from being gone on administrative bullshit, which I'm about caught up on. I've got to, but I don't get much of a rest because I've got to start working on laying out the fall. But we got some great stuff lined up, so pretty excited about that. Just a quick plug: Anarchy returns on May 27th to the Landmark Arena in Cornelia, Georgia, the Church of Southern Wrestling, if you will. Big main event. One of our co-hosts here, Strong Style Psycho Tank, and the No Pain Train Iceberg, the legendary founding original Devil's Rejects, taking on the new Devil's Rejects, Brad Cash and the Deadly Sin 7. It's really been a war of words between Cash and Tank. Check out the Anarchy Facebook and YouTube page and the Twitter page to see a great video package put together by our new editor, the former Mr. Delicious, J.C. North. Like myself, becoming an old sellout working for the office. He is he's our new editor, and he's doing a great job over there, and I really appreciate him. And he put together a sweet package that showed all of the history of this feud, starting from what happened at Hardcore Hell and you and Brad's interviews back and forth on each other and the setup for this match. So if you want to know what happened leading up to it, check that out. Huge night. That's going to be a monumental main event, not to mention the Landmark Heritage Title Tournament is winding down, folks. We got 2 semifinal matches and a final to go, and the semifinals happens on May 27th. The Nightmare himself, the man also known as Kyle Matthews, going to be lacing it up against Ryan Vega. Jeremy Foster going to go one-on-one with Wild Billy Buck of Team Tag. Winners of those matches going to the finals. Champion going to be crowned on June the 10th. So don't want to miss that either. Also got Strychnine taking on the Georgia Wrestler of the Year, Drew Adler, for the #1 contendership. Jacob Ashworth will be appearing. Gladiator Jeremiah is opening up the show with a big announcement about a declaration of war against Team Tag, Jeff G. Bailey, and Gunnar Miller. So I would not miss May 27th if I were you.
Yeah, I'm
and I'm
looking forward to it.
I got some friendly advice for Brad Cash and 7. Just remember, it's not the drunken iceberg you got to worry about. It's the sober tank.
Goddamn right.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal. It's like I said, you just don't want to miss it. Like we've got 3 events, including Hostile Environment, to kind of put a nice cap on the summer before we start building into the fall. Don't want to miss any of those. Huge things occurring on all of them, starting with May 27th, then back on June the 10th, and then June 24th is Hostile Environment 2017, and we're going to know 3 matches at least by the time May 27th ends. By the time you're headed home, you're going to know at least 3 matches for Hostile Environment. Maybe even more than that. It's quite possible. Also got Team Tag is going to be in action against the Georgia Tag Team of the Year, the Beautiful Bald Besties. So Kevin Blue and Chris Spectra, besties in their own right, self-professed besties, will be taking on the Beautiful Bald Besties, and who is the more ridiculous, I suppose. And then also we're going to see the tag team titles, Lynch Mob. They're pissed. They are pissed. They got bags put over their heads by the Approved, and so they're pissed. They decided finally to give the Approved their tag title match. These boys are ready to throw down come May 27th. Be there, be there, be there. Facebook.com/Anarchy Wrestling. Facebook.com/Landmark Arena. Powerbomb.tv, $9.99 a month to get your first 10 days free. Access all the Anarchy content, and it's coming up fast. Mr. D is on the ball in that fucking editing room, folks. The show was last Saturday. This show released a week and 2 days later. Not too bad turnaround. Sometimes within just a couple of days. Like we're on it, amassing a nice library. Like I said, you can also get Georgia Premier Wrestling there. You can get Scenic City promotions, all the Scenic City Invitational from last year and the year before, and the Scenic City Rumble. All of that great stuff available on powerbomb.tv. And for Anarchy, you can also get DVDs of the events. Okay, I think I'm done plugging. Good God.
I got a question. I'm just curious. Let's say hypothetically, I were to come out of retirement to step back into the wrestling ranks, not as a performer, though, in ring, as a manager, and I was to manage, say, a team known as the Approved, and they were to become the Alexander Approved. Do you think that would just be a huge step down in the fans' eyes from the former Jimmy Rave Approved? Do you think people would just snarl and say, well, Jimmy Rave's a big star and you're an asshole?
I mean, yeah, but I don't think that would necessarily be a bad thing. You know, kind of get that heat. You get that fucking heat.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I was just curious.
I don't know if you're serious about that, but just saying, hit me up after the show.
I mean, I'm not saying that half of that team asked me constantly to come manage them. I was just wondering.
Well, I mean, a guy with a track record in tag team wrestling such as yourself, I think would be an asset to any team who is needing a manager. So if the Approved hired you on, I would certainly allow you to be there.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. I like to have my options open.
Well, you heard it here first. Exclusive, 100% confirmed. Andrew Alexander is going to be the new manager of the Approved. You heard it. Now he can't back out. It's 100% confirmed right here on the Midnight Black Mass.
Yeah, fucked up.
%100% confirmed.
Yeah, let's move on to some real wrestling news.
And what would that be?
I mean, Jinder Mahal made quite a splash last night.
He did. At Backlash 2017.
What'd you just say, Backlash?
Yes.
At WWE Presents Back Knee 2017.
I mean, no, like, seriously, I think it's a good move for them. You know, it's always easier to get some credibility back on the belt by putting it on the heel. Now, whether or not they're going to keep it on him, I say build a new heel, put the belt on him, and run with him. If people don't like it, fuck him. He's the heel. Who gives a fuck if people like it? Let him get that heat. And then you build up a babyface that people want to see beat the fucking guy, and then you finally give it to him, and it's fucking huge, and you make another guy. Like, I don't really see a downside in it. I think it's pretty smart.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people have been talking about it. You know, I hadn't really watched the product that much the last couple of months. I just kind of skimmed through it. And then when I'd seen on Twitter it had won, I said, well, shit, they pulled the trigger on it. So I went back this morning and watched it. And Orton was fucking them Bollywood boys up.
Oh, my God, was he ever?
And what was funny, he dropped that one right on his head, and the camera got his face to like, oh, shit, I done fucked that dude up. So you got to give up credit for taking that ass whooping.
Yeah, for sure. They took a hell of an ass whooping. There's a gif out there of the one Bollywood boy guy laying on his fucking head, and it is the one where he's like makes a oh shit face after he watches him fall.
I mean, it was a little careless, yeah, but you know, hell, as long as the kid ain't hurt, I guess it's not that big of a deal. I mean, he got his ass right back up and took that DDT or whatever. So,
oh yeah,
it was good
yeah,
stuff.
It was the face Orton made was freaking priceless. Like, I don't know if dude jumped too high or if he just got a little careless, but when he saw him land and he was like, oh shit, I feel bad. Overall, man, I think it's a good move. I don't know when exactly their tour of India is, but my God, that's just such a large population over there. I mean, I think, shit, man, they could do some shows over there. They could make $1 million off a decision like this. I mean, $1 million plus. If you think, oh, well, they have tons of money, but they're not in the business of not continuing to make more. I mean, a couple $1 million from a untapped part of the world pretty much is a pretty good move in my book. It's interesting to see all the talent that's come before, whether it be, kind of back in the day when title changes were a little more scarce, or recently a lot of talent that have come in and made a big splash, and you think it's going to be the next big thing, and they don't quite get that break. And, man, Jinder took the opportunity. You can't say he didn't. I mean, he's working hard. Given some pretty good performances, some good promos. I think you can. I sometimes get the sense that he's nervous, the sense of that, oh shit, like I cannot fuck this up, which is totally understandable. But it's going to be very interesting to see how far they go with it, to see what steps they take, and who will be maybe a guy to step up and take the title from Jinder, whether it be Orton or whether it be someone else. I really think they need to get full force 100% behind AJ Styles and make him the guy of that SmackDown brand. I mean, the absolute top face of that company and that brand, because he's just so damn good. Who can he not work with? What can he not do? I think that's the guy the next couple years you should base around, as long as he stays healthy.
Oh yeah, and speaking of him, man, like his match with Owens was really good, and a lot of people shit on the finish. I thought the finish was legit. His damn foot was caught. He couldn't. I don't know. People are like, that finish was fucking stupid and this and that. And I was like, I thought it ruled. It was just very old school type.
I love the finish. I absolutely love the finish, and you can bring it back for more matches. I thought it was amazing.
I liked it too, because if you're trying to get AJ out of it, then you're not pinning him, or if you're going to bring it back, it works too. It works either way.
Of course.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And like I said, it was very realistic. I know, like I was saying, I mean, the finish to me was realistic. He was stuck. He couldn't get up. He got counted out. That's what I liked about it. It was something kind of, to me, it was real. Like, oh shit, I'm hung upside down. I can't fucking make the count. And then it didn't kill him off. He didn't get pinned.
Yeah, do you think there's a certain, predisposition to a certain percentage of the fan base that just, if it's not a pinfall or submission clean in the middle of the fucking ring, then they're going to shit on it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's a big thing to the hardcores or the smarty fans,
I mean, like back in the 80s, how many times did a babyface hit a ref? The old Dusty finish, babyface to hit a ref. The other refs come in, 1, 2, 3. Oh, the babyface wins. No, the other ref wakes up and reverses the decision. I mean, yeah, it's the same shit. In my opinion, that was kind of like a Dusty finish, if you ask me. Like, well, fuck, you stuck. Whoever came with that I thought was pretty smart.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta blow shit off eventually, but while you're getting places, I think it's smart to not always give him a pinfall, because once you give him a pinfall, that's fucking decisive. That's it. Like you pretty much ended it.
And I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch any other match in the rest of the show. I watched YouTube videos. I saw the Fandango and Tyler Breeze kept switching outfits or whatever. So I didn't really understand what the hell was going on. but from what I read, they had a pretty good match. And I guess, what was there, like a six-woman match, tag team match or something?
Yeah, it was solid stuff. The thing with Tyler Breeze, the Fashion Police, sometimes you have to do a little undercover work. So
yeah.
So it's amazing to me, that hostile Chicago crowd. They were really having fun with that. They were enjoying it and cheering for it, and all of the comedy and stuff. They were getting behind instead of shitting on it. So it was what it was. It wasn't too bad overall. I just can't wait I want the Fashion Police to do a remake of Cheap Trick's Dream Police and change it up.
That'd be awesome.
I thought the whole pay-per-view was pretty solid, top to bottom. I didn't think it was a bad match. And definitely enjoyed it. Then NXT, had a great show. So it was a big win weekend for the WWE.
Yeah, I thought NXT, that Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate match was really, really good.
Oh, it was legit as fuck.
Look at that. Yeah, that as far as the modern style goes, that's about as good as it gets in my book. I mean, that's a tough one to top, really.
And proof is it's not how many. It's not like how many moves you do, because they did a lot of fucking moves, but they sold every fucking one of them, and they told a great story. That's how you do it.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'd read about how good the match was, so that's the first match I actually sat down and watched. It was like, holy shit, this is good stuff.
That spot where they were just punching the shit out of each other was fucking great.
Oh yeah. And that little Tyler Bate kid, he's so fucking small. He reminds me of Corey Hollis. And even kind of facial features and everything. Just he's got the little bit longer hair, and that Pete Dunne, and he's a little bitty motherfucker too. They just beat the shit out of each other. That was good stuff.
Oh, those boys was bringing it. They wasn't holding nothing back. That was some good shit. I really enjoyed that match.
The only thing, honestly, I don't know, you call me a stick in the mud or whatever, but I don't think that title should have changed hands in the United States. I think they could have been like just a bonus match or whatever the hell you want to call it, and had Dunn go over to be the number one contender, and then beat him in England with a fucking title. He's the champion of England or UK. I think they could have went about that a different way, but it still worked. It was still a fucking great match, and I popped for every fucking thing they did.
Yeah, for sure. And the tag title match was really fucking good too.
Yeah, what'd you think about the turn?
That was great.
We all knew we knew it was gonna happen, just didn't know when.
Yeah, I thought the tag title match told a pretty decent story. It was it built and went a little slower at the beginning, not just a car crash, which is good. I ain't complaining. And the last 5 minutes or so was about as good as anything you've seen in ladder matches as far as the stunts and car crashes. And Paul Ellering taking that super kick, that was a nice little touch.
Oh yeah.
As far as that turn goes, man, I don't. I don't know. It just seems odd. They don't have many tag teams at all right now. Those guys were really over. I get it. It was like when Seth Rollins turned on the Shield. They were kind of right at their peak of popularity as baby faces and could have got a lot more out of it. And it worked out well. So we're really going to have to sit back and wait and see. But it seemed a little early. But it was done very well. That Johnny Gargano, he's over. He's a babyface. Tommaso was getting some big heat at the end of the show with the crowd, calling him an asshole and yelling fuck you, Ciampa, and stuff like that. So they've already got a big-time heel on their hands that they can really get behind. And that's something they could use because, Bobby Roode's a big heel, and he's awesome. He's amazing, but he's not a heel. People love him. people sing and all that stuff, So they're gonna do some really good shit with that, but I think after that it's kind of like, we'll see what happens. It could turn out very well, but that's up to them. They're going to have to go all the way with it with both guys.
And that's the damn thing about the modern audience, unfortunately, is you're too good at being a heel, and they'll start to appreciate you. It's happening with the Miz already. Like, he's had a great heel run over the last year, and people are starting to get behind him. And it's unfortunate because he's doing good heel stuff. And so it's like poor Ziggler. I think he's awesome in the ring. He's such a great performer, but he's just like, what is there to do with him that they haven't done? He's in a tough spot, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, and what I liked about the whole Ciampa turn was like his character in like Ring of Honor was the Psycho Killer or whatever, the Sicilian Psycho, or whatever the hell it was. Gargano was laid out on that table, and he's sitting on the announcer table just like staring at him. I thought that was a cool visual. Him just like, I just fucked you up. I'm just going to sit here and stare at your ass, while they're chicks, putting you on the gurney or whatever. I don't know. That was just a cool end shot of him sitting up there like, fuck it,
And I think they probably think Gargano has great babyface potential, and I would agree. I think that there's a lot of potential in him as a singles babyface. It probably was too early to split those guys up because they got so over, but I guess they're going to try to go ahead and push them as, let them stay in development a little longer and push them as singles guys there and see how they do before calling them up. Because, a lot of guys, they get that run, and it's time. But with the Revival just getting called up, there's, like, you say there's a weak tag division, and, I guess I would agree, but both brands, have a few tag teams, and that's really all you need to tell stories. You need a few competitive teams.
No, but
I think Gargano... I was going to say, I think Gargano is a hell of a seller, too. His facial expressions of when he got hit in the face with that ladder and he just looked out of it. And then when Ciampa was beating the shit out of him, the look of like, why are you doing this to me? I thought his facial expressions made a whole lot of that shit, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. That's one of the things I took away was because I'm not, to be completely honest, I'm not particularly a huge fan of those guys. Not to say they're not good and they're not talented. I just don't love them like a lot of the other people do, or as much as people do. But I was really impressed with his selling of that and really getting a lot of realism behind it and drawing out some emotion with it. I believed it. I was like, yes, I'm convinced that you're puzzled and hurt by what's happening to you right now, which is, he really sold that well.
I thought the Roderick Strong, Eric Young match was really good too. Eric Young is good as fuck. You think he's just going to be an NXT guy, or you think they'll eventually bring him up, or he's probably making pretty good money just doing what he's doing?
He's got so much experience on, a bigger level and, immediately adapted and showed he could be taken seriously in the right environment, because that's one thing, in TNA, no matter what he would do that got over, like, he was a guy that was just constantly there and they were constantly shoving him down your throat. From a television perspective, but he was always doing some different shit, and he only tried to do like the serious heel thing for a brief period, and it didn't really get over worth a fuck. And so, what he's doing at WWE is nothing like anything he's done in TNA, and he's just like jumped on it and fucking showed everybody how good he really is. I think. Great dude. Like he's actually really close friends with White Trash, your former tag team partner, and Andrew. He was at Andrew's wedding and hung out up there a little bit, and so I've got to hang out and talk to him on a few different occasions on a personal level. He's a really great dude. So good to see it happening to him.
Was that the first time Strong had busted out the flipping suplex into a backbreaker on NXT? I know that was his finish at that Ring of Honor.
I think so.
I don't know.
I think so because he was using that sick kick as a finish, but Drew McIntyre's been doing basically the same thing. So I wonder if maybe he switched it up, which is smart.
I mean, I think the move's fucking sick as hell, And when he hit it, I was like, I think it's the first time he's done it. And when he came in, I was like, they're gonna let him do that move because it's probably not the safest fucking move to do. You know what I'm saying? You can get a knee in the back of the head. If you don't measure it up right, you can fuck somebody up. But I mean, personally, I think it's a cool ass move.
There's not a lot of guiding the guy down when they're that high up. It's just kind of like gravity and however they fucking land. So yeah, it could be problematic. Interesting story about Roderick Strong. He came through Wildside years ago when he was like in his first year in the business and had the shittiest fucking attitude. And he was in for just a brief period of time, and then he went on and did some good things. But I watched these like personality pieces they showed on him and talking about his life and shit. I'm like, well, man, I feel bad for being an asshole to you now because you clearly were going through some shit. And I guess it's a good lesson that you don't really know what people are fucking dealing with.
I remember him coming in. He had those fucking those tearaway pants for his gear and shit. And I forgot people were fucking with him about them. And then I'd run into him a few years later at IWA Mid-South, and he got his head screwed on straight. And he's a good kid. I never had a problem with him. Just chop the guy down.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And what else was it? The three-way women's match I thought was entertaining. I didn't really care for the finish of her pinning both of them. To me, do you guys feel like she just buried both of them by pinning them both at the same time?
I don't say she buried them, but she definitely, in my opinion, eliminated them from contention. So they better have a program lined up for them to go do something else because they're not viable contenders at the moment.
I'm surprised Tank can pay attention to anything in that match because I know how bad he's wanting to fuck old Ruby Riott.
Yeah, whenever they get a close-up of her face, I would just imagine one of those goddamn blocks on my TV blocking her goddamn face. Ugly motherfucker.
You were right. I said it was you that was going to say the controversial comment. But no, it is Tank is the first one. So.
I do like that Nikki Cross chick. Her gimmick's fucking hilarious. Just hitting the ropes and fucking falling down and rolling around and shit. I do like that. She's an ugly little bitch too, but hey, I guess that fits with her gimmick.
Nikki Cross is my favorite member of Sanity by far. I truly believe her when she's out there. And I don't think I've said this on the show, but I promise I mean it in the best way possible. When I see Nikki Cross, I just imagine that she's got the stinkiest pussy that has ever been.
I think Alexander just took the cake for the controversial shit.
He had to take the crown back.
But the thing, but the thing is I mean that as a compliment because I really believe her as a post-apocalyptic chick and everything. Now I'm sure in reality it smells like roses, and I would love to get a taste of it. But as a character, I really think it sounds like a sewage treatment plant or something.
God damn.
Where do we go with that, folks? There's the finish. I mean,
I don't know if you guys saw the little video clip or after Tommy got beat. He went in the dressing room and pitched a fit and started throwing shit around. And Hero kind of confronted him, and they kind of had a little shoving match. You think they turned Kenta heel or what? I mean, because what else can they do with him? You know, he was viable as a legit threat, but you know he got beat clean. So, what do you do with him now?
I think you have to turn him heel. I think like they saw Nakamura already. Nakamura kind of came in and stole all of his thunder because he got hurt when he was supposed to have his big run, and then he didn't have it, and then Nakamura came in and got over huge. So, I think it's like, if they push him as a babyface again, I think the global perception, and say what it is, but I know how the large marketing office thinks in that respect, and it's that, okay, you don't want to have Nakamura Part 2, so you turn him heel and see how he can do with that.
Yeah. I mean, we need a goddamn Jap that throws salt in people's eyes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Wear goddamn sandals and hit people in the head with them. Go full on Tojo Yamamoto with his ass.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, bro. I don't think that's gonna.
That'd be goddamn awesome,
in
bro.
2017.
Well, if only someone on the phone booked a wrestling show and was in charge of creative and could make that happen.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm touching that one. Apparently, WWE got complaints in '93 when they did that shit with Yokozuna. Like, I can only imagine the shit you would get now.
Oh, yeah, people lose their fucking minds.
Yeah, I think Jinder Mahal is the closest thing you're getting to a foreign menace in 2017.
Man, I was thinking about Kenta. I was watching that match, and, I've kind of been thinking it. Most of the times I've seen him on NXT. And I definitely thought it in that match. He's really good. He's really fucking good. All of his stuff looks pretty good. It seems to be just a really good worker all around, really smart with everything. But I do not see him becoming a star on the main roster in pretty much any way, shape, or form. Like, I can't even begin to picture it. I'm pretty sure if he gets called up to the main roster, he's 205 Live for sure at best, like maybe Cruiserweight champion.
He's a guy that's got smart mark appeal, but I don't think he has that overall worldwide appeal that they're looking for. I could be wrong. I said that about Kevin Owens, and clearly he got over on the bigger level. So, there's exceptions, but I would agree with you.
Yeah, I could be wrong, and I would love to be wrong, but I don't think I am at this point. Like you guys kind of said, he was in contention. I didn't think that at all. Like when I saw he was facing Rude, I was like, okay, this is totally a throwaway match for Rude just to give him a good win and have a good, strong match. But like when they weren't main event, I was like, well, there you go. I wasn't shocked at all by that. Like, I just don't see I don't see him on that level. Not talent-wise, it's not that. I mean, he's awesome. But for the WWE, as much as things have changed around there and they push a different kind of athlete, I don't see it happening for that guy.
No, me neither. I mean, I never knew. I mean, I never thought for one time he was going to win the title. Even before the show started, I was like, he ain't going to win this fucking title. I think Rude's the guy right now till they bring somebody else up, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. He's got that spot on top, and basically his main roster ready. So they're just waiting on. It'll be a situation if they need him worse on the main roster, or they'll got some breathing room time to build somebody else up in NXT to take his spot before they call him up. But he's ready to go and will be a top guy on the main roster as well, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Wait, who you who'd you just say? I'm sorry, I missed you.
Rude. Bobby Roode.
Oh, hell yeah. He's main eventer all the way whenever they decide.
I mean, I always liked him in TNA. I mean, I was like, man, this guy's good as fuck.
Just showing what they can do with the talent when you get that machine behind them that knows what they're doing and knows how to market a guy and get a guy over. Him and Eric Young are both testaments to that. They both had good careers in TNA, but they were wrestlers. Now they're stars, and there's a big difference.
Yeah.
They're guys that move the needle now.
Well, let's take predictions now. Who do we think takes that belt off Bobby Roode? I mean, it may not even be somebody that we see.
Yeah, I'm like, are they on the roster yet? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I could kind of see with the way they've done that Roderick Strong thing, I could see them building him up to do it.
Yeah, they've certainly invested a lot to get him over.
Depends on what kind of run McIntyre has. He might win it, or they might call him up quick. So you never can tell with him. I think McIntyre would be a good champion. It's like,
Gargano, if they're going to go that route.
Yeah. I mean, Rude's ready to go. He'll drop the belt and he'll be gone. He'll get a rematch and lose and he'll be gone. I say McIntyre.
I'm going to say Gargano.
That's some good calls for sure. Especially that McIntyre, I've seen his matches since he's come back. Man, he don't fuck around. Like, I get the feeling that he would work Tank, and he would give Tank about 2 or 3 shots, and Tank could tap out and cry.
I would. I'd be like, fuck this shit.
That motherfucker is.
You're like Ricky Morton and Dr. Death in Mid-South in 85. Small package me, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I watched the match he had with, what's his name, Oni Loki or whatever the hell. He beat the shit out of that guy.
Yeah, they beat the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, he hits me one time. I'm like, fuck this, man. Backslide, then me.
Yeah, he's good. I could see him. I could see him beating
I watched the match.
Rude for sure.
When he left WWE, did his little 2-year run on the Indies and whatever. I didn't really know how big he was until I saw him work a match with Jimmy Rave, and he just towered over him. I was like, hey, why was this guy even fired? You know what I'm saying? I was like, holy shit, he's a fucking monster. Then I've seen matches he had with, like, Jeff Cobb and these real big dudes. He's just throwing them around like they're fucking nothing. But not only does he hit hard, he's strong as a fucking ox. And
that's the thing, man. Guys don't understand until they see it. There's a difference between big and WWE big.
Yeah. I mean, it's like when we did that Raw years ago, you walk in the back and fucking like, even what's his name, Santino Marella, he was big as fuck. Like, Jesus Christ, this guy's fucking enormous. And then Cena walks by, and you're like, I mean, these guys are larger than life anyway. You see them on TV, you know they're big. Then when you see them in person, you're standing next to them, you're like, holy shit. And McIntyre's one of those guys. You just be like, well, he just looks like a normal-sized guy until he works a regular indie guy. You're like, holy fuck. Because, he was there. He was wrestling Batista and Triple H and all these other huge guys. He looked small. And then he got on the
Triple H's workout partner for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah. Sheamus was.
I think McIntyre was also. Yeah. I think they fired him the first time kind of as an example, like, oh, well, your buddies with the boss, but that's still not going to save you. And, maybe he wanted to go also because, you know, maybe that was a blessing. Like, look, man, let me just go to the Indies and make some money and then I come back. Okay, cool.
I mean, they need to bring him back and let him work Sheamus and let them two beat the fuck out of each other because you know they're going to do it. It'd be like Regal and Fit Finlay, just beating the shit out of each other for no goddamn reason.
Hey, McIntyre and Jinder Mahal are both examples of when you get released, don't go out there and be a fucking bitch and raise hell. Just work hard, keep your head down, and you come back and you'll be the champ.
I mean, did Jinder Mahal even do indies? Because I never even saw him on, like, any big independent shows.
Oh, yeah, he did a bunch, apparently. I've seen every motherfucker, that worked him has been posting on Facebook. Oh, my boy Jinder, go get him, pal.
He did some.
And posted pictures.
In Texas.
On Texas, okay.
Yeah, because he lives out there, I think. But I don't think he did. He didn't do as much as Drew McIntyre did. But and then he went through a little phase where he got pretty out of shape and stuff. But you can't tell now.
Shit, no. He's built like $1 million fucking bucks.
I was waiting for those Bollywood boys to pop some of those temples and rub the pus in Randy Orton's eyes. That'd have been a fucking finish.
He certainly showed what a WWE body will get you. But like I said, I think it was a great move, and I think that's going to wrap up the show, folks. We are out of time. Tank, any last-minute plugs you want to throw out there?
I'll be in Cornelia this Saturday. Rejects versus Rejects. We're taking our name back. Goddamn it! That's all I got to say.
Outstanding. And Andrew, you need to get on the phone with your tag team and make arrangements to be there. I assume you'll be there at call time.
Not so fast. I have an appearance this weekend. Thank you very much.
Oh, you do?
That's right. The brand new sponsor of the Midnight Black Mass, Front Wrestling Super Shop in the East Ridge Flea Market in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Been there for 19 years. I'm going to be there this weekend for their big Memorial Day sale. What do you think about that? If you want to come see me, all you got to do is come out there.
Holy shit, Andrew Alexander making a live appearance, folks. East Ridge, Tennessee, the Pro Wrestling Superstore. Take advantage of this rare opportunity until he, starts on his start date that we've already 100% confirmed here on this broadcast. But that's going to do it for this edition of the Midnight Black Mass. I am Dan the Dragon Wilson. For Fast Eddie Layne, our producer, for Andrew Alexander, for the Strong Style Psycho Tank, thank you for joining us. Keep one foot in the gutter and one fist in the gold. Good motherfucking night.